Get out of my way. It's the coach. You're watching Madden football on EA Sports. Coming up, bruising runner Leonard Fournette, fresh off 100 yards a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting New Orleans Saints taking on the Atlanta Falcons. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Godden along with Charles Davis. And Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. It's Josh Allen who will be under center, the rookie quarterback who was drafted 7th overall from Wyoming.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback. And no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Off the play fake. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. C.J. Mosley coming with pressure. He drops him on the blitz for a loss of 12.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Well, that run good for 6 yards, but they're still looking up at a 3rd and 15.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On play action, Allen. And a big loss here as he's taken down. William Hayes able to finally wrestle him down for a huge loss, and that'll take us to 4th down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Returnable for Thomas. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt, with 7 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the very, very talented Andrew Luck.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win. And that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They go play action here on 1st down. Flushed out right. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And they didn't wait long to take a shot there, that's for sure. But it falls incomplete. And it's 2nd down. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. And a look now at the offense for New Orleans.
Out wide, they have A.J. Green, who can run every route you want on the route tree and take the top off of defense with his speed, and has the length to go over the top of people to catch the ball. But maybe the most impressive thing about him, the only wide receiver ever to be a Pro Bowler in his first 7 years in the NFL.
Just beating the play clock is Luck. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week, 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on 2nd down is Luck. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
So after the INT, it's Allen. Dumps it complete to Miller. A second nice move. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Here now, the offensive starters for Atlanta.
Come up the lowest yards per carry average of his career is Lamar Miller at 3.7, and that's not normal for him because of his versatility. Can catch it out of the backfield, but his best attribute, high-volume ball carrier. Runs it inside with power, physicality, and some really good vision in order to break some big runs.
They keep it on the ground. This time, it's Miller. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
All right, here we go.
On play action, Allen, and the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. William Hayes. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves, maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now it's Locke off the bootleg. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he's got some space here. Room to run past midfield. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Looking back to Leonard Fournette's rookie campaign, over 1,000 yards rushing. And coming into the league, some people saw this kid as an ex-Adrian Peterson. What can we expect from him going forward?
I like the comparison because of the size, the strength, the speed. But I think he catches the ball better than Adrian Peterson. So I think they can up his utilization in the passing game. But what really impressed me was down the stretch in the divisional playoff game against Pittsburgh. Hurt his ankle, left the game for a while, and came back and helped power his team to a big victory. Remember, he had some dings at LSU that kept him out of a few games. I thought that was a breakthrough for Leonard Fournette.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, Locke. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Green's first catch of the game. Good for a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here's Luck now on second down. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A.J. Green, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints have taken the early lead. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive, they've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. At the end of one, 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Twisting away. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Heading back out there now, the Saints defense. And they've created a major first-half storyline with the pressure they've been able to create.
And I know that the good teams adjust from series to series. They make their adjustments on the sideline before they go back out. In this case, I think they might need a little bit more time. They want to get to the half and start figuring out how do they change protections, how do they get the ball in the hands of the passer a lot quicker, make sure he doesn't get hit as often, all those different things. Maybe even run the ball a little bit more. Anything to try and tamp down the pressure.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
On second down, here's Miller. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
Throwing is Allen on third. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Atlanta. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Here's Thomas. And now running right through it. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And heading back out there now, the Falcons defense here. And they gave up a touchdown last drive. You kind of need to hit the reset button after every touchdown given up, Charles.
I love that, and the way that you phrased it is perfect because from series to series, you can reset how the game is going to go. If you gave up a touchdown before, it doesn't mean you have to do it again. And if you made a great play before, you have to reset again anyway because they're going to attack. So I love the way you phrased it and put it out there. That's what they have to do in this series.
Not like when you're playing a video game. You can't hit the reset button here. Let's go.
No, you shouldn't anyway. That's for sure.
Right back to him on first down. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, here's Lott. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On first down, it's Lott. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 more there and another first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A handoff to Fournette. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Hey, you need... Check it out. 390! Hurry. Go.
They'll try and run forward with Fournette. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
And this Fournette territory here, and he's alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead. Well, that turned out how they wanted. Run the toss play to the left side, go for that pylon, get in there.
And just being able to understand where the pylon was and sneak it in there, well done, well executed.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least touchdown, Falcons. Lamar Miller, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability.
Well, there's no doubt that this offense was in desperate need of a quick answer, and they got it. One play, and they're right back in this game.
Because you got the sense if they stalled out here and then another score on the other side to make it a 3-score game, could have gotten ugly. On for the extra point, Giorgio Tavecchio. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Tavecchio now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. A beautiful fake. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. And you see the last drive, great chunky yardage, the touchdown on 5 carries. And offensively, everything just looked in sync, didn't it?
It did, and the reason that it was in sync is because it's a combination of play calling, game plan, offensive line marrying up with all of their blocks.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Throwing is locked. Out left side here to Bryant. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The pitch to Fournette, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the gun, here's Locke. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. Still fighting through tackles. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 55 yards.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still first down.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for 1st and goal. They'll run it, showed off the juke, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6-yard line. And give him closer here for a 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they...
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And now he'll tuck, and he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Andrew Luck with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 21-7. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Elliott now to kick this one away. Returning it, John Ross. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Let's go! 3-19!
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Allen. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Allen from the gun on 3rd down. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Well, earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Des Bryant now, he gears up to help lead this offense again. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
2nd and 10, Luck again. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Jones. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense offense will work, and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Luck now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. Luck over the middle, complete. It's Bryant. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Back to throw. Luck on the screen. This is Coleman. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Luck now 12 of 15 throwing the ball. 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Jones. And he's going to be out of bounds down to the 25. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
The play clock getting low, so Sean Payton says, let's take a timeout. As the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. On first down, Luck. Flush to his right. He goes full extension, and he's got it. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. On 1st and 10, Luck. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Luck on 2nd down. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Des Bryant in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints add on to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Elliott now to kick this one away. Now Ross to return. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll begin at Bank of America Stadium. Cincinnati in town to take on Carolina. And it's the Panthers who are out in front. A touchdown pass there for Jameis Winston. From there, we head up to our nation's capital and check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they trail that one over the visiting Green Bay Packers. Cortland Sutton, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Tom Brady with a touchdown pass there. In our game, it's Andrew Luck, back after missing all of last season with a shoulder problem, and he hasn't missed a beat. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Second half beginning with a run from Fournette. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Fournette. Powers through it. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Go. Alert.
They'll try and run forward with Fournette. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here's a give to Fournette. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Chris Jones on the stop.
But he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They'll try the air now with Locke. Over the middle, that's caught by Miller. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They will run again with Coleman. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Credit the tackle there to Uchenna Nwosu. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
On third down, Fournette. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They snap it to Locke. And able to find Green. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Saints on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Love. And incomplete here on third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And Elliott puts this one through. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And Hill with it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete it.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Here we go.
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down, and it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Set. Green 39.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Here we go. Blue 90.
Here's a give to Miller. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Here we go now. 3-19.
On third down, Allen setting up the screen for Miller. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it fourth down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. Want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
To throw is Love. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Locke. On the right side, this is Miller. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. So with the yardage on that completion, he's now right at exactly 300 yards on the game.
And isn't that the magic number you get? Right? 300, that means it's going to go on a commemorative football to put on your mantle when they give you the game ball if your team wins. So much confidence flowing through them right now, throwing the football. I think it's permeated itself throughout the entire team. They feel good about what they're doing. Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Here we go.
So after the INT, it's Allen. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Allen again here on 2nd and 10. And it's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Set. 3-9.
Throwing is Allen on third. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Now Allen, got to have this one. And it's complete. Hooper. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And they went for a big play through the air on second down, couldn't connect. Now it's third.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Allen to throw once more. And finding the tight end, Hooper. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
One final try here for Allen. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons cut into that lead.
And how about that for Josh Allen? His first touchdown pass in the NFL. He had plenty of success while at the University of Wyoming. But when you throw your first touchdown in the league, that's what you've been dreaming of since you were a small child.
One to cherish forever, and you talk about his success. He had 44 touchdown passes in his 2 seasons at Wyoming. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the lead will be cut down to 14. Tavecchio now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. Spins away. And some room to run now. And he'll weave his way up, all the way up, a few yards shy of midfield.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game, the interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw with this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
To throw on second down is Locke. And a little floater there is incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, Knock ball away. Turns into a nice play.
The Saints on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Let's go, Mexico!
Running left, it's Fournette. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. So out come the Falcons now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
On second down, here's Allen. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He's got his man. It's Williams. 7 yards on the quick slant and a 1st down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Throwing now is Allen. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Now let's go. 3-19!
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Allen. On target over the middle to Hill. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Now Allen, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And they'll run for it with Miller. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. Lamar Miller stops short of the sticks. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game. But, boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away. Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
On 2nd down, here's Love. And Bryant's got it over the middle. The result, a 1st down as a quick slant gets him 14. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down if they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up. That'd be the time to do it.
Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll run it again with Fournette. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On the run is Fournette. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They snap it to Locke, and he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A.J. Green, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 62 yards. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Operating from the red zone now. Allen. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. William Hayes in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Now Allen throwing on second down. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. To throw, it's Allen. And that is incomplete. Vontae Davis able to get a hand in and knock that away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Tavecchio puts this one through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Throwing now. Luck. Oh, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
Escaping the pressure right, and that will be incomplete as well.
It was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on first down, second down, third down, all three incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
We'll see if they go back to base. Now Allen, and he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Allen looks to throw on second down. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And they're going to get this one all the way out to the 25-yard line. Allen now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he had been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Now let's go. Green 39.
Allen again here on 2nd and 10. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for New Orleans, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll have another road date next week with the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.